Hi, welcome back. I'm Michael. This is my friend Kate, and today, what are we chatting about?
Oh, we're talking about studying over the long term versus procrastinating and then having to cram for a test or an assignment the night before.
Wow, and what are your tips for that, Kate?
Well, the best tip is obviously to be as organised as you possibly can be, but we can't always be super organised. Sometimes things happen. So, what do you do if you're suddenly finding yourself the night before a test and you haven't done enough? And
Yeah.
we want you to make sure that you're not panicking, that you're able to come up with a plan of attack, feel a little bit more confident going into that test the next day.
Okay, so tip number one. What's tip number one?
Tip number one is to make a plan. So rather than just have a panic and dive in and start reading all the material you can, is to think, right, what am I about to be asked? Is it an assignment? Is it a test? What are the questions that I'm going to be asked? And so what kind of answers do I need to have prepared? Once you know that, you can start to find the right information. But you need to kind of organize it in your head, because especially if it's the night before, you're going to be feeling all kind of disorganized, maybe a bit worried, maybe anxious. So the more you can write down under special bullet points or headings, the more organized and relaxed you'll feel.
Fantastic. And Kate, what's tip number two?
So tip number two is to not try and do more than you need to do. You don't have to be perfect. Obviously, in an ideal world, you would have been studying for ages, you know all the material, but you can't know everything all at once, especially not the night before. So think about the 2 or 3 things that are most important for you to know well and concentrate on those.
Great. And if there was a third tip, Kate, what would the third tip be?
Relax, grab a cup of tea, grab a hot chocolate, sit down, start writing out your ideas. It will all happen, but really do try and put a pen to paper, because that's the best way for your ideas to start flowing out. Don't worry if it doesn't come straight away. You have been in class, you have been listening, it will come back to you. Just get as much information as you can and feel pretty reasonable in the fact that you're a smart person and you can handle this.
Amazing. Thanks, Kate.